Welcome to another episode of the Wikid Weekend Podcast. I'm your host, Michael from Wikid Publishing, and today we're doing something, again, a little different. Just like we did something a little different with the Barrels dramatic reading, I'm going to go ahead and do something a little different today. I'm playing Alone Against the Flames, Call of Cthulhu role-playing game, solo adventure. I've never done one of these before, but I've been kind of curious about them. I thought, well, hell, why not put one on here as some podcasts for y'all, and that way you can check it out and maybe get some chills and thrills. So I'm going to first go ahead and show you my character. I'm going to stop sharing that for a second. I'm going to show you what character I'll be playing today. Let's see here. So I'm playing Ellery Woods, professor at Miskatonic University. I was born in Boston, but I immigrated to, I don't know if that's the right word, I moved to Arkham when I was a young boy. Looks like I've got high strength, high education and high intelligence, and constitution's okay. Everything else kind of like meh. This is character I'll be playing. As it says here, my ideology and beliefs include fortune favors the prepared mind. Significant people include his old friends of the Boston Nine. Ellery may have left his days of crime behind him when he got his education, but you never really leave again. Meaningful locations: Boston, the city he calls home. Treasured possessions include the research manuscript he's been working on for over a year now. Ellery hopes it will win him academic acclaim. Gear includes tailored three-piece suit, newsboy's cap, thin briefcase containing a research manuscript, a change of underwear, and a few essential toiletries. Spending level of $50, cash of $300, and assets of $30,000. Yes, there you go. That's the character. So I will be playing as I said. And let's see here. I'll be using Roll20 to roll my dice, if those are needed. I know some of the later ones in the series. This is the Lone Against the whatever it's called. Each one is like different, but I know the later ones you do have dice rolls and it gets a little more complex. But this is an introductory one just to start off, see what it's all about. So without further ado, I shall go alone against the flames. Alright, here we go. I don't know what to expect, guys, but I'm a professor, so I'm not afraid. I know that everything is logical. Nothing that you see before you, nothing that which you cannot see before you is real. Only things that exist and can be proven are real, as any good man of science knows. And so I go against the flames. What's this? Ramen and Costello, Plymouth, New Hampshire? Coach line? Take a look like that. Introduction. This is a solo adventure for the Call of Cthulhu game. It is a horror story set in the 1920s, where you are the main character and your choices determine the outcome. It is also designed to lead you through the basic rules of the game in a gradual and entertaining fashion. Although most such adventures are played with your friends, this one is just for me. Before you begin to play, make sure you have a copy of the Call of Cthulhu 7th edition rulebook. Don't really need it because I know how to play the game, but I have it just in case. Blank investigator sheet. Don't need it because I'm using a created investigator for this adventure. And it says I need a pencil and eraser. We'll see how that goes. Maybe I need to write. I should at least have something to write notes with here. Alright. Settle into a comfortable chair and before a roaring fire, then read on and follow the instructions. On second thought, don't sit too close to the fire. Now go to 1. The sun is high in the sky, a merciless ball of heat. You feel scorched by the time you reach the bus halt in front of Osborne's drugstore. It's a relief to put down your heavy cases and take off your hat for a moment. You fan your face. It has been a long summer here in your hometown, and yet a curiously empty one. You look across the street at the grubby butcher shop, the grocer's with its faded awning, and the shabby tobacconist. Maybe full screen here. Excuse me. Mistrustful faces glare at you as they pass, eyeing your clothes and luggage. It was your parents' choice to live here, not yours. You were happy down south as a child, among Providence's white-walled houses and leafy churchyards. Perhaps this new job in Arkham will supply the change you need. Yet everybody you know in the world lives here. Yet everybody you know in the world lives here. How does that make sense? Nobody lives in Arkham. You know nobody in Arkham, not one soul. You ask yourself one last time if you're doing the right thing. The answer is here. None of your supposed friends have come to see you off. You're all alone. Whatever challenges lie in Arkham, it will be a new life and a brave one. A small gray motor coach approaches and rattles to a stop. Put your hat back on, pick up your glasses. Go to 263. Okay. Two young men with sullen expressions alight from the coach. One looks you up and down before heading away. The driver also steps down, glancing at you before crossing the road to visit the tobacconist. When he returns, he is rolling a cigarette between his yellowed fingers. He gives it a final twist and examines you as he reaches for his matchbox. He is a thin man in his 50s, dressed in a stained shirt with the bus company emblem. Yet his eyes are sharp in their dark sockets. Where to? You show him your ticket for Ossipee. From there, you will connect to Rochester and Portsmouth before the coastal line to Newburyport and finally Arkham. You should be able to afford a rail ticket for at least some of the way. Otherwise, this will be the first of many long bus trips. Mm-hmm. The bus driver scratches the match and lights a cigarette. The end flares as he takes a draw. Then he exhales and gestures to the back of the coach. Luggage racks up there. Look at your investigator sheet. Oh, wow, they actually want me to roll a character right here? Oh, okay. Shoot. I guess I could do that. Nothing wrong with that. Kind of fun. Scratch what I said then, before. Let's see. I will be Sir Arthur. No. I'll be Arthur Downey. Let's see here. Look at Disney. At the top, you have spaces for 8 characteristics: strength, constitution, power, dexterity, appearance, size, intelligence, education. Allocate the following values among them, writing in the large squares beside each. Allocate the following values among them, writing in the. So I can choose what I want to make them. I know what they all mean, of course, as I am an experienced keeper of arcane lore. What kind of character I want to make? I want to make like a. I want to use. Wow, that's like a kind of a question I don't usually get asked often. I'm gonna make this guy a farmer. No, let's see. What's the backstory I read again? It was like he's moving in. He's moving to Arkham. Doesn't know anybody. He's a writer. Just like me. So he's gonna have good education. Probably kind of like the professor, really. Intelligence of yeah, there we go. He's an author. Intelligence 70. That's my two highest. Let me give him a nice constitution and strength. And appearance and, let's see, size can be, he can be a little small, right? Tell me to choose luck. Yeah. When you have to go to 8. Okay. Alright, there we go. I've got my stuff. Alright, that sounds looks good to me. Alright, so we head back to here and we go to page 8. Or number 8 or whatever it is. Sorry. Oh, here we go. 8. 8. There we go. The driver smokes and watches as you drag your cases to the back of the motor coach. The rack is set inconveniently high on the vehicle. You get a grip on the heavier case. If your size is 40, god dang it. Of course I chose size 40. I can't reach the damn thing now. Why do I do this to myself? Jesus. See my big mouth. Oh, I get to create my own character. It's gonna be so great. Let's see. The flames snake around. What the fuck? Is that right? Did I read that right? Hold on. What? Alright, well, so, back up. What the fuck did I just... Maybe I misread it. My bad. If your size is 40, go to page 23. Oh, my bad. I went to page just like... The flames? What the fuck? What the shit's going on? Holy fuck. My bad. Hold on. Here we go. Okay, sorry. So I'm too short. The luggage thing is... I'm too tall and I'm really short. There's no flames. I lied. You struggle for a few seconds before the driver comes up beside you and lends a hand, still puffing on his cigarette. Hey, there's some fire for you. Heavy bags for a small heavy bags for a small one, he remarks. You judge it best to respond with a simple thanks. It's not very polite. The driver flicks his cigarette into the gutter and steps into the motor coach. Its engine coughs into life. You board, grateful that you will be the only passenger for the initial part of your trip at least. With mixed emotions, you watch from the window as the tired avenues of your old home slip behind you, receding into the distance. For a few minutes, you can still see the church spire over the brow of a low hill. Then the road dips, and it too is gone. Arkham is your new home. You will travel there and make a new start. You will see two smaller boxes to the right of each characteristic value, half each value rounding down. I think we don't need to do that because it's automatic. Do you need to add my size, though? Where is size? Oh, no, size is there, yeah. In the strip below, you will see tracks that record sanity and magic points. Beginning sanity is equal to your power. Emitting magic points are the same as your power you assign for power divided by 5. Let's see, power is 50. So sanity is 50. Max sanity is 99. Meaning magic points are the same as the value you just assigned for power divided by 5, so 10. Excuse me. And then go to 134. The coach putters through the countryside. At first, the interior is stifling and your stomach lurches with every bend in the road. However, the driver opens his window, and by switching seats, you find a spot where the breeze hits your face. You soon relax into the journey, observing the quaint little hamlets that the coach serves. A heavy-set woman boards at one settlement and gives you a polite nod. She gets off at the next one. The road rises a little, passing cornfields and orchards. The leaves are turning and the trees are alive with glorious reds and golds. You've just begun to doze when the driver takes a tight bend at speed. Uh-oh. Add size and con together and then divide the total by 10, rounding down. This is your starting value for your hit points. So I think it automatically does it. Let's see. Size and con divided by 10. 40 plus 60 is 100 divided by 10 is 10. Yep, there we go. You also have a luck score. Roll 3 6-sided die. 3, we'll call this, if you're roll 3d6. Nine. So that's my starting hit points. Oh no, that's my luck. Sorry. God damn, that's not great. Really, roll 3d6. Wow, that was terrible. My luck is terrible. Oh, and multiplied by 5. Oh, okay, I was gonna say. Jeez. That was about to be not cool. It's actually 45. That sounds a lot better. So look at this. This is a nice little way to teach you how to create a character on the fly. Now I must make a roll against my dex. Let's see, I should be just able to click on it, right? Or am I tripping? Maybe not. Huh. Anyway. Oh, there we go. Okay, there we go. You just gotta turn off edit mode. See, I've never done that before. I've only ever DM'd early. Okay, so dexterity. Success. No. Let's see, if you pass, go to 261. Oh shit, there's links on there? No, I don't have to do the find and search thing. There's just links? That's fucking cool. Whoa. Okay, I'm down. So I just click 261. Dude, let's go. That is so cool. I didn't even think about that. A desperate yell awakens you. You feel yourself slide from the seat as the driver spins the wheel and the motor coach plunges off the road. You grab hold of the seat in front just in time to prevent a painful fall. The coach stops with a thump. Now you see what has happened. Maybe I should. Do people want to see the screen? Maybe the endless words aren't even that interesting. Well, yeah. Maybe I just should just show the main screen. Let's see. Chrome tab. You don't want to see all the just boring text. It's just I want you to see my character and all that stuff. Alright. And this character, I'm not using that character anymore, so. Alright, back to what I was reading. The desperate yell awakens you. You feel yourself slide from the seat as the driver spins the wheel and the motor coach plunges off the road. You grab hold of the seat in front just in time to prevent a painful fall. The coach stops with a thump. Now you see what has happened. A Fordson tractor has stopped in the road and your driver has had to swerve to avoid the steel obstacle. He leaps from his seat into the road, unleashing a string of curses at the farmer. You take a moment to catch your breath. Perhaps you should offer assistance. Are you okay, buddy? But the driver's already returned. He backs the coach up a little and threads it around the tractor, glaring at the farmer. Goat 71. You resume your journey. The driver takes the curve with more caution than before. He glances over his shoulder at you a couple of times. Sorry about before, he says. That fellow was dumber than a hog. I'm Silas. What's your name? My name? My name is Arthur Downey. I'm an author from Boston, but I've moved here. An author. Yes, an author from Boston, and I've moved here to Arkham to start anew. I'm currently looking for work, you see. The accident was at least as much Silas's fault as the farmer's, but it doesn't seem shrewd to antagonize the man while he is driving you through the middle of nowhere. The coach turns onto a narrower road which weaves uphill through woodland. Silas becomes chatty. Going to Arkham, eh? Can't say I ever heard of the place. Went to Boston once, didn't like it. Too much hustle and bustle. You got family there? A special someone waiting? The afternoon is wearing on. You see no harm in confiding in Silas about your new life. A job, eh? What's your line? It says, choose an occupation for your character from the following options. Let's see if maybe I said author, but it looks like journalist is the closest. Antiquarian, doctor of medicine, journalist, private investigator, or professor. Since I said journalist, author, I'm just going to switch it over to journalist. Which means I had page 239. You mentioned the reporter's job, which you secured at the Arkham Gazette on the strength of a few freelance pieces in your local newspaper. It will be a relief to get away from vapid society columns and whimsical stories. You understand the Gazette covers everything from the breakthroughs of researchers at Miskatonic University to the most sordid exploits of local ne'er-do-wells. It should be something to get your teeth into at any rate. A writer? For a newspaper? Silas seems confused, as if he thought the stories somehow wrote themselves. My credit skill rating is 20%, apparently. That's what it's telling me here. Let's see. Credit skill, credit rating, 20%. Oops, I'm not trying to roll it. Oh, right, I got edit mode. 20%. This is kind of fun. I like creating the character on the fly. Like, this is really interesting. Your occupation skills are art. Oh, shoot. Art. Your occupation skills are art, craft, photography, history, library use, own language, psychology, and one of either charm, fast talk, intimidate, or persuade. You may also pick any two other skills except Cthulhu Mythos as personal specialties. Allocate the following values among these occupation skills. Writing in a large square beside each. 70%, etc., there. Ignore any starting values already mentioned on the investigator sheet. Rude. So 70, 60, 60, 50, 50, 50, 40, and 40. And that's for art, craft, photography. Let's see where that is. Art, photography. History and library use. Also, own language, psychology, Charm, Fast Talk, Intimidate, or Persuade. I'm gonna go with Persuade. Okay, so what do I want to allocate those? I think the highest one should go to... Highest one should go to my libraries, of course. Because as a writer, I would need to know. Or maybe history. I should history first. We're gonna do libraries second. Highest. 60. And then third highest will be Persuade. And then I'll go psychology and photography next. Finish up with home language and that's it, right? Well, actually says my own language is 80, so I guess I'll just leave that. Don't let me edit it even. Maybe if let's see. Okay, so 50 for that. And then was there one more? Am I tripping? Why did I... Let's count. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, you can also pick any two other skills except through the method of 7 and 8. Oh, gotcha. Okay. Gotcha. I can choose 2 more. Oh shit. In that case. I'm gonna give myself a higher brawl skill. So I can punch people if need be. And then locks. Just in case. Need to try and lock something. There we go. Okay. Now that I've done that, I go to 128. You realize Silas hasn't made a stop since the incident with the tractor. The motor coach winds its way uphill. However, your thoughts are interrupted as the road crests a ridge and you are treated to a magnificent view of the vista below. A creek snakes through the valley, breaking the rich autumn palette of the tree line. In the distance, the white mountains rise into hazy cloud. There is no settlement, not even a cabin, as far as the eye can see. Birds drift through the treetops, and you can just make out what might be 2 white-tailed deer lingering by the water. Perhaps you are making a mistake by moving by the city. Could you survive on your own in this lush wilderness? If you have the base ability in most skills listed in brackets after the skill name on the investigator sheet, for instance, you have a 20% in climb and a base dodge equal to half your dex. Choose 4 skills which are not your occupational skills in order to Cthulhu the Mythos. These are your personal interest skills. Boost each of these by 20. Hell yeah, son. Let's go. So I get how many of those? So I get to boost 20 by 20 points. 4 skills. I mean, any of the ones I'm not chosen with. I'd like to be a better driver. Actually, I'm a better dodger. I better be a better dodger. That's not right. Alright, 20 more. I need to jump. Let's go higher. Jumping. Want to know about the law. And like it's and stealth. My 4. Lock it in. And yeah, go to 144. The motor coach rattles on through the hills and Silas lapses into silence. The sky darkens behind you, pink tinting the clouds as the sun descends. Finally, a welcome sight comes into view, a settlement on the crest of a hill. This doesn't look like the pictures you've seen of Ossipee, but perhaps you can persuade Silas to stop while you stretch your legs. Minutes later, a harsh stuttering from the engine interrupts your reverie. Silas frowns and rattles the gear stick. The motor coach falters in its ascent. Silas utters a curse you don't recognize and grinds his teeth, struggling at the wheel. You seem to inch up the hill until you reach the first building. Oh, goddammit, I should have gotten the fucking driving better. Why did I not choose the driving? I almost chose the driving. Damn it. Shit, I was such an idiot. The motor coach falters in the descent. Silas utters a curse you don't recognize and grinds his teeth, struggling at the wheel. You seem to inch up the hill until you reach the first building. Building's low dwellings, constructed from a rough red stone. Silas wrestles the coach into a small bay off the road. He scrambles from his seat and makes from the engine compartment. You must now choose to make a roll against drive auto or psychology. If you choose drive auto, you need to roll equal to or less than the skill value. If you choose psychology, you need a hard success. How would psychology help you, I wonder? Shit, I think I have psychology. I don't have drive auto. So on a hard roll, psychology. Let the gods be with me. Success! Hey, let's go! Hard success, baby. Let's go. Wait, which one was it again? Ah, fuck, I can't remember which, shit. What was I doing again? Oh shit. Hold on. Epic fail. What number did I say? I can't even remember. See, how many times is the word ascent appear in this? One. Thank God I remember. Okay. Okay, so I success go to 162. My bad. Alright. Definitely don't want to forget the numbers again. You sense a falseness to Silas's action. He is acting. Either he is not as aggravated about the breakdown as his behavior suggests, or perhaps the breakdown itself is an act. If this is a ruse to make you spend your time and money in a local shop, you will be sadly disappointed in your purchasing power because I am broke as a joke. On your investigator sheet, checkmark the small box to the left of the word psychology. Yeah, because I successfully rolled that one. If you successfully complete this adventure, you will have the opportunity to learn from your experience with Silas and get better skills, so that on the next solo adventure, if I do one of these again, I'll have a higher skill on that one. But by the way, I should totally put in a picture. I wonder what my character would look like. Let's see. I'm gonna look it up here. Bring you a good character. He looks fun. Let's see. Oh, that's a token. Let's see. My avatar. I didn't save. Did not. Oh, man. No. Sorry. Don't know why it's giving me so much trouble just to save an image. There we go. Or not. What? Huh. Oh, there it goes. I was like, what? Alright, there we go. Here's my journalist character. Alright, back to the story here. Silas opens the engine compartment and sticks his head inside. What? The hot metal pops and sizzles, so you focus the various components, and the crawls and wipes his brow, staring with dark grease. I ain't sure what's wrong. Might be the oil pressure. Might be something knocked off kilter when we took that spill. Can't do much until the engine cools neither. And with the light failing, I reckon we'll be here through the night. He wipes his hands on a rag. The shadows from your surroundings are already long and the air is chilly. You feel stiff from the journey, and the night in the rickety coach sounds unappealing. Silas sees your dismay. This here's Emberhead, miles from any place. I only come through twice a week, but the folks here are good people. Maid Ledbetter keeps a spare room. She'll look after you. Up that alley, turn right, first house on the left. He scratches his cheek, looks again into the engine compartment, and spits onto the ground. Meet me back here at 8 in the morning, and we'll see how we started. So I can choose to look for May Ledbetter's house, to ask Silas where he will spend the night, or to challenge Silas about the breakdown. I'm a journalist. I gotta know the truth. I'm gonna challenge him. I ain't gonna let that shit slide. You confront Silas with your suspicions. I appreciate all you've done for me, sir, but that is just a load of crap. That you're completely obvious. I see right through your ruse, sir. How can you treat me such a way? His brow darkens and he shows a mouthful of twisted teeth. Ain't that just like you city types, he spits. Thinking the worst of a man after he's gone out of his way to attend to your comfort. He stalks around to the back of the coach and hauls your bags from the rack, dumping them on the ground at your feet. Take them! Otherwise, I guess you'll be accusing me of thievery in the morning. He marches off in the darkness, raging. That could have gone better. Ah, to hell with you, you bastard. After another few moments, May glances round at you. Then you hear a soft... Let's see. There it is. Sorry. You drag your cases between the sullen buildings. You feel surprisingly weary considering you have spent all day sitting down. Silas's direction leads you to a modest dwelling with a slate roof. A nameplate reads Ledbetter, and then a sign in near plate reads Lodging Room. The lane around you is gloomy, but a lamp flickers in the window. A breeze chills your face. You are not about to begin your new life by sleeping in the street. You rap on the weather-beaten door. After a moment, you hear footsteps inside the house. The bolt is drawn back, and the wooden door swings open. A figure with loose curls and a rough-looking house dress peers at you. Her gaze takes in your traveling suit and your cases. Her voice has a slight Irish lilt. Hello, should I take it as you're looking for a room for the night? You inquire as to her rates, suppressing a grimace. As far as you've seen, the village does not offer you many alternatives. Oh, you'll find them very reasonable, she says. You look tired. I'm May. Come inside and we'll take over a cup of tea. The Ledbetter house feels cramped with a low ceiling and simple fittings, but it is well kept and a cheerful fire crackles in the grate. The aroma of the tea is soothing and warms your peers. Have you come to Amberhead for the festival? Asked May. To explain what happened with Silas and the coach, go to 14. To ask about the festival, go to 21. I'm going to ask about the festival. Well, now, I suppose the festival is about the only reason folks come to Amberhead. I thought you had come to study it or take photographs. Well, it's not tomorrow night, but the night after. I suppose it looks very strange to a passerby. May tops up your tea. The spout chinks against your cup. We've got the beacon, you see. One night every year there's a torch-lit procession, and we light the beacon on the cliffs. You've never seen the like of it. They say they keep the spirits of the village alive for another year. It's a celebration. A celebration! She tails off for a moment and blinks. But you didn't come here to listen to me blather. You must be hungry. I can rustle you up a bit of stew. How would that be? You ask again about her rates, and May names a price as so low you accept it without hesitation. The room is small but comfortable, and the stew dark and hearty. After dinner, you have a couple of hours before your usual bedtime. Talk to Mason Moore, go to 31. To walk around and get your bearings, go to 75. Turn in early, go to 63. I'm going to look around. May's brow creases when you announce your intention to take a stroll. Mind how you go, she says. Emberhead's surrounded by cliffs, and we don't have your fancy street lamps here. Take the lantern and watch your step. Outside, you see what she means. The sky is overcast and only a few glimmers of moonlight peek from the clouds. Without the heavy lantern, you would be walking in a near total darkness. You cannot hope to get overview of the village tonight. Maze Street is a narrow passage hemmed in by squat, dark dwellings. At the end, however, it opens up. A wide thoroughfare leads off to your right. A crude sign names it Silbury Street. To the left, a few yards away, your light picks out the crooked posts of a simple fence, and beyond that, the ground drops away into darkness. You take a couple of steps closer, but you can see nothing. Air from below cools your face. Then some instinct makes you look around. An ink black figure stands in the road, about 20 yards behind you. It stares at you. You form the sudden impression that it will run at you and throw you over the cliff edge. This is unsettling. Seeing it has been spotted, the figure slips down an alley. To return to the safety of the Ledbetter house, go to 100. To confront the dark figure, go to 121. Hey! Get back here! What's your name? Why are you watching? This first appears back, then another. It slips down an alley between two buildings. To get your target, you must make a track roll. If you succeed, go to 141. If you fail, go to 130. You're not gonna get away! Ooh, that's an epic fail. I should have gotten higher tracking too. The figure moves fast with almost silent steps. You are hampered with a heavy lantern in an unfamiliar environment. You emerge from the alley into a dusty courtyard and can detect no sign of your quarry. You scratch around for a few minutes, but the figure is gone. It seems unwise to continue your stroll through unknown dark streets while this threatening presence is abroad. You head back to the Ledbetter house. May lets you in and settles back in her chair. Soon she begins to yawn. I believe I'll turn in. When would you like your breakfast? Well, I'm not feeling hungry after that encounter. Let's see here. As May stands, you hear a clunk behind you. You look over your shoulder, but all you can see is a wooden door securely closed. May tuts. The young lady of the house. She'll have been listening to us. Ruth, come and greet our guest. There's a short pause, and the door creaks open. Two wide eyes peer at you from the gap between tousled hair, tousled hair and a rough nightgown. What do you say? The eyes blink. Pleased to meet you. Now get back to bed. The door closes again. My daughter Ruth, 10 years this summer. She's a delight and a torment all in one. Don't worry, she sleeps in with me. She'll not disturb you. Good night now. You retire to your room. It is a little chilly, but you are too tired to worry about lighting the fire. The sheets are clean and the bed soon warms up. The silence outside is strange after living in a town for so long, but you soon drop off. You dream of fire in the grate, coruscating colors shimmering through the dancing tongues of flame. As first they are tiny, almost microscopic, but they grow and grow until a kaleidoscope inferno spills from the fireplace, spreading across the floor, up the sheets. You wake up with a start. Daylight glints through the curtains. You get up and examine the grate, blinking the sleep from your eyes. It is quite cold. If you have taken any damage, you may heal 1 point back from your night's sleep. No, I'm good. No damage. May seems to have no running water, but has supplied some in a ceramic jug. You freshen up at the washstand and go in. She cooks a hearty breakfast and leaves you in peace to eat. At about 7:30, you are paid up, packed, and ready to go. You bid May goodbye, and she wishes you the best for your new career in Arkham. You are already tired of your heavy bags. Hopefully, Silas has repaired the motor coach, and you can resume your long journey. As sour as he might be, but the old driver seemed to understand his vehicle well enough. Yeah, right. You pause here to check your watch. Still 20 minutes early, and around the final corner. The motor coach is gone. You put your bags down and search the area, trekking up and down slopes and around corners. At the edge of the village, you trace the long road back as it winds across the hills. 8 o'clock comes and goes. There is no coach to be seen. A passing villager notices your bags. Looking for the bus? I heard him take off at first light. He's due back in 3 or 4 days. If you need a place to stay, Maid Ledbetter rents a room. The man raises his hat to you and strolls on into the village. You curse Silas under your breath. Damn you, old man. Perhaps he went for parts, but you wonder if the old goat is stranded here on purpose. That's what you get for being such an asshole. That's my commentary. May is doing laundry and looks surprised to see you again. Forgot something? When you explain the situation, she offers to store your bags while you try to arrange alternate transport. You are grateful to relieve the load. Nobody here has anything like a car. She strokes her chin and narrows her eyes. Maybe you could find someone with a horse, and a cart for your bags. I could ask around later. Try Mr. Winters at the village hall. He'll know if anyone will. Or ask among the artisans. Their workshops are first left on Silbury Street. She reaches over and squeezes your wrist. Don't worry. I won't see you sleeping in the street, money or no money. You thank May and turn to face the village. But you get a picture of this supposed village here. Oh yeah, that's a good one. Excuse me. You wander the streets of Emberhead without any particular destination in mind. The village is built on a relatively flat upland with splendid views. To the north, the hazy tips of the White Mountains reach for their heavens. To the south, the sparkling waters of Lake Winnipesa, excuse me about the pronunciation, Lake Winnipesaukee touch the horizon. The village itself takes less than 5 minutes to cross from edge to edge. You arrived on the winding road to the west. The only other road leads to the south, following a lower ridge of land as it turns east. In the southwest of the village, an open grassy space borders a ruined church, its graveyard cresting the cliffs. To the northeast, the three main thoroughfares meet at a raised black metal structure, looms stark against the blue sky. Ask about the transport at the local general store, seek out the village hall, walk down the lower level and check out the eastern road. Hmm. I'm gonna go ahead and see if I can get transport. Let's get the hell out of Dodge. I, oh, sorry. General store is on a corner beside the main road, just before it plunges to the south. The shopkeeper is a brisk, immense lady with a starched apron and strong shoulders. She looks hard at your unfamiliar face. Transport? There's a motor coach comes through twice a week. Missed it? Hmm. Truck brings in my supplies every second Tuesday, but he's not due until next week. She shrugs. It seems Memberhead is content to keep his distance from the outside world. You have enough money to buy one or two inexpensive everyday items. Note them down on your investigator sheet. Remember the year is 1927. The shop stocks no weapons except a dusty hunting knife, which you may purchase if you want. I'm going to buy the rusty hunting knife. Let's see. I'm going to buy the hunting knife and some rations. And some rope. You're beginning to get your bearings in your head. Would you like to explore some more? You may choose another option. Do not repeat your previous choice. Once you've tried 4 options, or before that, if you're ready to move on, go to page 3. I'm gonna go to Village Hall. The Village Hall backs against a cliff at the east side of Silbury Street. It's the largest building you've seen so far in Emberhead. It is, however, locked and shuttered. You walk around it, peering through gaps in the shutters. There seems to be one large room, presumably for community meetings, and a smaller annex which serves as an office and archive. One of the windows is bricked up, back at the main door. You can see no posted opening hours. Mr. Winters doesn't open up mornings this time of year, says a gray garbed woman passing by. Best come back this afternoon. You ask whether the office has a telegraph. Don't know, she shrugs. Who would call? You have you will have to try again later. Bullocks. I'm gonna examine the large metal structure. You walk up to the approach, the most central of the village's major streets. It points directly at the odd metal structure. As you emerge from the shade of the nearby buildings, you are greeted by a magnificent panorama spread from the north to the southeast. The last colors of fall tint the hills in a sleepy gold. The structure, by contrast, is made from uncompromising iron, singed black. It supports an immense curved platform at the level of your head. Further struts snake up to a central point. It looks like they may have been some kind of sculpture at one point, but are now twisted and melted beyond recognition. An older gentleman passes, looking up at you with rheumy eyes. Are you here for the festival? He asked. That's the beacon. When they light it, night after next, you'll be able to see it 10 miles away. He gives a little nod of satisfaction, then moves on, leaning on his walking stick. Now you notice bundles of wood, tied and stacked against the buildings nearby. Perhaps this festival would be an interesting diversion, but you really must head to Arkham as soon as possible. Make a spot hidden roll. Oh, bullets. Fail. Damn it. You're beginning to get your bearings. That was. Damn. Bullets. I'd like to look for people with their own transport needs and maybe see if that anyone can get me out of here. Not far from the Ledbetter house on the north side of Silbury Street, there is an open courtyard. The rhythmic tattoo of a hammer seems to announce your approach. The courtyard is the busiest location you have yet seen in Emberhead. It is bordered by a ring of workshops. Some are brick buildings, some only rough huts. A blacksmith ceases to hammer, thrusting something red. Excuse me. A blacksmith ceases to hammer, thrusting something red and glowing into a bucket of cold water. A weaver looks up from his loom, blinking at you a moment before returning to his shuttle. A potter, engraver, and carpenter each work in their own space, and exchanging friendly banter. You move among the artisans, chatting about their work. Eventually bring up the question of export. Some of them send occasional packages with Silas. Some restrict their custom entirely to villagers. You receive no suggestion about alternative transport. I'm gonna make a it says to make a psychology roll. And I have good psychology. Decent. Yes. Success. One of the workshops is shut up. One of the workshops is shut up. When you stray too close to it, the repartee between the craftspeople becomes awkward, almost forced. The repartee between the craftspeople becomes awkward, almost forced. Interesting. You may checkmark the small box beside the psychology. I already did. You're beginning to get your bearings in your head. I think that's it for me. That's 4. Your morning exertions have left you hungry. You roam the streets of Emberhead looking for sustenance. There's nothing resembling the busy cafes of your hometown or anything that might be called a restaurant. It is beginning to look like you will have to get supplies from the general store when Maid Letterbetter comes down the street with the girl trailing her wake. Then you remember that you already did get some rations, so you quickly eat some of those and that's satiate your hunger there for a little bit. Maid Letterbetter comes down the street as you're eating, and a girl is trailing in her wake. This must be Ruth. As she notices you, she races past your mother and approaches you with a smile. This is a different Ruth from the shy creature of last night. As she reaches you, she stops and stretches her arms up in celebration. She looks up into your eyes. Abruptly, the smile drops from her face, and she looks several years older. Get out before the festival, she hisses. Get out! She blinks hard and then scuttles back towards her mother. May approaches, wrapping an arm around her daughter's shoulder. She smiles. How are you getting on? Have you found transport? Startled, you explain the frustrations of the situation. I tried Mr. Winters in the village hall. He's always an oaf of I try Mr. Winters in the village hall. He's always in an oven afternoon. You'll be hungry by now. Help yourself to any food in the house. The door's not locked. You glance at Ruth where she's has squirreled herself behind her mother's leg. Her eyes implore you to silence. If you ask Ruth about what you said, go to 9. If you ask May about what Ruth said, go to 15. If you say nothing, go to 22. I'm just gonna say nothing. You take your leave of the Ledbetters and head towards their house. The door opens easily. In a low kitchen, you make a meal from stodgy bread and leftover stew. A little window offers a view to the mountains. If you learned one thing this morning, it was that Amberhead Street so little to occupy the visitor from out of town. But there are still about 5 hours of daylight remaining. You could take some provisions and the bare essentials from your luggage and set out in the hope of reaching another settlement before dark. Or you could ask advice from this Mrs. Winters. Let's head back to the village hall, see if that dude's back. The village hall overlooks the lower north ridge of the village. You walk along Silbury Street to find it, conscious of the oppressive black metal structure framed at the end of the road. The shutters of the hall are open and some windows left ajar. There is no knocker, but a little bell over the entrance tinkles as you push the front door. Inside, a sturdy door to your right is marked private. To your left, an opening leads through to a bright room. You take a few steps inside. Benches inside the walls, benches line the walls, and there are 2 notice boards mounted between the windows. I knock on the closed door. You raise your hand to knock on the door, but it opens before you complete the movement. The middle-aged gentleman behind it takes an involuntary step back, adjusting his spectacles. You hasten to apologize and introduce yourself. He steadies himself and peers at you. Hi, yes, my name is Arthur. I'm a journalist, and I'm looking for a way to get out of town. I'm just visiting, you see. Ah, yes, I see. I'm Clyde Winters. Just visiting, you say? And you've come to see me? Care for some coffee? I usually take a cup around this time of the afternoon. His invitation seems genuine enough and a good opportunity to ask questions that are on your mind. Go to 43. You step through the door marked private. The other side of the village hall is in marked contrast to the public space. The room is compact, lined with shelves of books and file alcoves. One corner is reserved for a tiny pantry and what is presumably a water closet. You study Mr. Winters as he fills the percolator. Although thin on top, his hair is oiled and neatly swept back. His suit is a sober affair and well-tailored event, even if the cut is a little old-fashioned. A lesser man working alone might have loosened his bow tie for comfort. On the desk against the opposite wall, you notice what looks like a telegraph set. Well, Mr. Winters, your town seems to be quite interesting. What do you make of it? What do you like about living here? The pot begins to gurgle as you exchange pleasantries with Winters. Living here? It's a trade-off, like so much in life. He looks past you at a high shelf. I could wish for access to a proper library, of course, but I know myself well enough. I'm strictly a dabbler, and the cities. His finger wrinkles in distaste. Too many people. Everybody rushing and shouting. We have a special place here. We have a very special place in Emberhead, and someone must accept responsibility for keeping it so. That was my father before me, and now the duty falls to me. He lifts his chin and straightens up. This evening, as the sun sets, look out at the landscape around the village. We have peace up here, halfway to the stars. Are we not privileged? Is this not worth the hardship we must accept? He looks at you speculatively. This seems like a good time to ask about the telegraph. The telegraph? Much as we value our isolation, we do need to link sometimes. You were hoping to send a message. I must apologize. The line has been down for 2 weeks. I reported the fault, but of course they're not so speedy when the problem lies in a rural area. I'm expecting a repair the day after next. I do appreciate how frustrating this must be. The coach is due in, 3 days? But I think he's going west. Perhaps he might engage a wagon. One of the farmers might... You explain that you have asked a few of the residents already, but to no avail. I tell you what, and just pours you a steaming cup of coffee. The dark liquid smells rich and strong. When the repair crew arrives, I'll ask them to take you back with them. How would that be? They might want $1 or two to grease the wheels, of course. The day after tomorrow, it's less than ideal, but it's the first real opportunity you've had. Thank you, I'll appreciate the offer. As the light fades, you return to the Ledbetter house and eat a light supper. May is unusually taciturn. Ruth's eyes flick to yours several times during the meal. There's an urgency there you cannot quite interpret. Afterwards, May ushers the girl into their room. You have been in Emberhead for barely one whole day, and you already feel confined by it, both geographically and socially. The evening seems to offer little. To do some stargazing, go to 131. To attempt to speak to Ruth, go to 138. If you have a previous appointment, this is the time to follow it up. I'm going to try to talk to Ruth, I think. In time, May returns to the kitchen and busies herself clearing up. To speak to Ruth, you will need to get to May to leave for a short while. You help with the dishes and try to think of some ruse. In time, an idea comes, and you ask about Silas and his friends in the village. May narrows her eyes. He knows Troy on the other side of town, she says. Not sure I'd call them friends. More like an old feuding couple. But he probably spent last night at Troy's place. You asked May if she could visit Troy and ask if Silas mentioned any plans to return. May looks dubious. Right now? She asks. Without looking at your investigator sheet, decide how best to influence May. I'm going to go with persuade. I'm going to appeal to her emotions. Let's see. The thing is that you see, I have such an important date that I need to get to in Arkham, and I just can't be late. If I delay any longer, things are going to be really bad, and I would just really appreciate any kind of compassion that you can show for me. I'm going to make my persuade check. I should put on 3D dice. I forgot to do that. But it's a success no matter without the 3D dice. Well, I suppose it'll only take a few minutes. May fetches a coat and heads out into the night. You give her time to get clear, then rap on the bedroom door. Nothing comes but silence. Then feet pat across the floor and the door opens a few inches. Ruth's eyes stare through the gap, glancing from left to right. You explain her mother has left the house and ask what has been bothering her. His eyes flick up to stare at you. It's tomorrow, she whispers. Same as every year. They took my doll. They'll take you if you let them. The conviction in her eyes is chilling. You press her. Who's she talking about? All of them. Everyone. They've been watching since you got here. You're Mark. Her voice is hollow. 1 year. When I'm older, they'll take me. You hear her footsteps approaching from outside. Ruth's eyes flash and the bedroom door slams. You turn back to drying the dishes. May enters and removes her coat. That man is a waste of time, she says, and then heads to the bedroom. Persuade, I did a successful persuade check. The familiar surroundings of your guest room are becoming constrictive. The neat bed, small wardrobe, and dressing mirror have the feel of a prison cell about them. What are you still doing here in Emberhead? Your new life is elsewhere. You lie in the bed and stare at a small crack in the ceiling. You turn over the day's events, thinking about the little details you spotted. You were certainly weary from the elevation and the fresh air, but do you still feel safe here? Hell no, I don't feel safe. I'm out of here, dude. Sleep presses down on you, blink it back, and sit up, trying to think through your situation. Everything in Emberhead seems to be working to stop you leaving. Perhaps the answer is to strike out at first light. to walk as far and as fast as you can. You can always return for your possessions, and if you lose them, you have nothing so precious that it could not be replaced. A tiny creak draws your attention to the other side of the room. Creak. Slowly, almost silently, the doorknob is turning. I'm going to pretend to be asleep. You slide on into the bed and lie on your side, eyes closed. The hinge creaks as the door opens. There's a long pause. A football sounds inside the room, then another. The steps are careful and feminine. You give it a moment, then open one eye with a crack. May crouches with her back to you. She is fiddling with something in the fireplace. The fuck? Do I confront her or wait to see what happens? I'm gonna confront her. May jumps as you swing your legs off the bed and speak. What are you doing? I thought you might be cold, she stammers. Thought I would like the fire. She shoots something away with her hand behind her. You stare, but can see nothing in the grate. I shouldn't have disturbed you. I'm sorry. She stands to leave. Stop lying to me. What were you doing back there? Intimidate. You block May's exit and demand to know what is really going on. You see real fear in her eyes. It was nothing, she says. Just something to help you sleep. For your own sake. Tomorrow will be such a big day for you, you see. You press your advantage, demanding a full explanation. Please, she says, understand. I've my daughter to think of. I already lost my husband. She wriggles around you and flees to her room. Pretend I succeeded, I guess. Damn it. Let's see. I don't think there's any way. I can go with fireplace. Confront May. And then I failed my roll. Oh, that was not bad. That was if I succeeded. Pretend that didn't happen. Anger flashes in May's eyes. Would you strike a woman in her own house? She snaps. 18 people live on the street. If I scream, every one of them will come running. She scrambles from the guest room and into her bedroom. You consider pursuing the issue, but decide against it. And, just see if there's giggles. Yeah, there's no way I could have made that. To secure your door with a chair and get some sleep, go to 58. To stay awake all night, go to 59. I'm going to secure the door with a chair and get some sleep. You awaken the sound of feet in the street outside. Your night's rest has brought a new determination. Nay, you will meet Amberhead on your own terms. The letterbedder's kitchen is empty, although bread and eggs have been laid out for your breakfast. There's a note from May explaining that she has taken Ruth out for a few hours. You make a quiet circuit of the village, pausing in unobtrusive places to watch the villagers. It is rather busy for this time in the morning. Yawning locals stream back and forward along the roads, carrying bundles of split logs to the site of what you've heard referred to as the beacon. You see two figures already up in its superstructure, arranging the wood. The festival bonfire will be most impressive. Do you intend to stay to see it? You suspect by now that something is amiss here. While the villagers are distracted, you may do some of this investigation, or may simply leave the town without looking back. I'm gonna search May Ledbetter's bedroom. Despite her hospitality, you do not trust May Ledbetter. You return to the house quite openly. Quite openly. Where else would you go? Inside the dwelling is still empty. You rap on the bedroom door and wait. Silence. You ease it open. The Ledbetter bedroom is in marked contrast to your own neat space. Dirty clothes are piled above the floor. On a rough quilt lie school books and cheap novels. You notice a raggedy old doll discarded down the side of the bed. Make a spot hidden roll. After I close my character sheet. Fuck. Failure. You go through the Ledbetter's drawers. The only item of interest you find is a wedding photograph. May's husband was a wiry man with a square chin. Despite the formality of the pose, you can see the affection between them. You feel a pang of guilt at your intrusion. Also, May might return. You may wish to push the spot hidden roll, meet the roll again. If you succeed, go to 95. If you fail, go to 101. If you'd rather not risk it, go to 120. I'm not going to push it. I'm going to go to 120. Pushing a roll is risky. You feel a deepening unease about Amberhead in this day in particular. I'm going to try and... I'm going to go alone to the village hall and see if I can see what I can find there. Keeping away from the streets, you skirt the northern cliffs and approach the village hall from the rear. It is close to the beacon and you will not be able to use the door unobserved. You check the windows. The one on the east side, facing the beacon, is bricked up. A shutter is loose on the westernmost window and you are able to ease it open and slide inside, closing the shutter behind you. You drop into the village meeting room and pad through, passing through dim shafts of light and listening to the excited chatter of the locals from outside. The door opposite reads private. Hearing nothing from the other side, you turn the handle. The room is lined with books. In the corner is a small water closet and pantry. A quick survey of the rest of the room reveals little, so you turn to the bookcase. The dim light makes it difficult to read the spines. Is there anything useful here? Make a spot hidden roll. Fail. Man, why did I not think of spot hidden should have been one I really, that's one of the biggest ones. That should have been over all the other ones. That should have been the one I get. That was a rookie mistake. Spot hidden is one of the most important. You always use spot hidden. Shit. One moment, technical difficulties. Shit. There it is, okay. No, wait, fuck. Shit. Shit. I fucked up. Okay. There it is, okay. Keep away from the. Sorry. Keep away from the streets. You skirt the northern cliffs and approach the village hall from the rear. It is close to the beacon. You will not be able to use the door unobserved. You check the windows. The one on the east side facing the beacon is bricked up. A shutter is loose on the westernmost window, and you're able to ease it open and slide inside, closing the shutter behind you. You drop into the village. Oh, I think I did this already. Read that already. All right. The room was lined with books. I tried to spot something, and I failed. Back between two books, you find a detailed map of the area around Emberhead. See page 27. It shows woodland, contours, and two roads east and west, although no other settlements are marked. This may prove useful if you do decide to leave today. The clatter of activity around the beacon seems to be building, and you flinch at every conversation that gets too close to the building's door. It feels the right time to retrace your steps, slipping away through the night. Let's see what the map looks like. Emberhead. Copy and save that for later. Interesting. You feel a deepening unease about Amberhead and this day in particular. Once you have attempted 3 of the options below, go to 98. I think I have one more. I'm going to spy on the activity at the beacon. The northern side of the village is bustling, and you are unlikely to remain hidden there for long. You head in the direction of the church, and then move up the east side, behind the houses. The drop looms on your right. One particular section of ground is quite narrow, and you have to hug the building for support. You may give this approach up and go to 120. To proceed, compare your size and your dex. If your dex is higher, go to 42. If your size is higher, make a natural roll to roll. I'm pretty small. I think I can do it. I'm gonna proceed. So I compare my size and dex. Size and dex. Let's see. Size is 40. Dex is 50. If dex is higher, go to 42. If your size is higher, make a natural roll. If you succeed, go to 42. If you fail, go to 36. So I succeed because of my dex is higher than my size. The turf sinks beneath your feet and stones crumble from its edge. Alarmed, you grip the building and ease yourself forward. Finally, you have a good spot to watch the beacon. Yes, I did it. You lie concealed in the grass and watch the activity around the beacon. Villagers bring in yet more bundles of tinder and stack them in neat bundles. Another shift passes the bundle up to a pair of men standing on the raised platform of the beacon. They are constructing a triangular structure resembling a gigantic campfire. As you watch, you are struck by the manner of the laborers. This is their festival. You'd expect a cheerful atmosphere and some light-hearted conversation. Yet the faces of some show resignation and detachment. Others, a naked dread. You watch for a good half hour before you slip away. You are contemplating your next move when you see one villager, a bald man with a damaged ear, watching you intently. Some instinct makes you walk in the other direction. Then you see the others, ahead, and to your sides, a wary teenager, an evil-eyed matron, and a man hefting a club. They are not staring as obviously as the first, but they keep you under watch, and they're closing in. You cannot hope to overcome four of them at once. To try to lose amongst the buildings, go to 158. To run for it, go to 164. I'm going to try and lose them amongst the buildings. I'll never outrun them. You dart down an alley, turn it, and head in a completely different direction. Running feet sound behind you. For the first time, you feel Emberhead's cramped, chaotic streets work in your favor. You try to circle round towards the southern road. Make a stealth road. I did use high stealth. Yes! Shouldn't it be right? Oh, that's a hard success. Oh, okay, wow. Very nice. If you succeed, you may checkmark the small box on the stealth skill and go to 7. As you approach the southern road that descends to the lower ridge, you see 4 villagers blocking the route, with farm tools and clubs. You veer off and head towards the west road. Your heart sinks as you see exactly the same scene at the other exit from the village. You are trapped. I can try to walk my way past one of the guards, or to slip them in disguise. To talk my way. Or maybe I know one other way to leave the village. No, I don't. Crap. I'm gonna try to talk my way through. I'll never be able to disguise, I don't think. The southern group appears less sharp than the western group. You stride up to them and explain they are needed at the beacon. They look dubious. You offer to watch the road for them and hold out your hand for a pitchfork. Nah, you come with us, says the first one, his ape-like brow bends into a frown. Make an extreme fast talk roll. No way. Ha! These locals are not as stupid as you think. They grab you and march you back into the center of the village. Crap. The fading light from a narrow window tells you afternoon is giving way to evening. Your hands are shackled behind your back so you cannot even lie down on the rough bed. A woman you have not seen before comes in. Her face is wrinkled and her eyes dull. They do not meet yours, but she puts a cup to your lips. Reject the drink. You turn your face away, and when she tries again, you dash the cup from her hand using the side of your head. The clear liquid spills across the floor. The woman gives a half shrug and turns to leave the room. You shout after her, but she gives no reaction. You soon become thirsty. As the light fades outside, your little prison becomes dark. You can hear much activity around the building. Occasionally, an orange glow passes the window. The only comfortable position you in the shackles seems to be to sit against the end of the bed with your arms hanging behind you. You need to concentrate and come up with a plan. There's clearly no escape from your bonds. You do not know exactly what your captors want from you, but you cannot ignore the fact that they have spent the entire day constructing a massive bonfire. The dark scrapes wrenching you back into the moment. Orange light spills into the house from blazing torches held up the threshold. 2 large villagers step in and grab you. At least you assume they are villagers. They wear heavy black coats, and their faces and hands are painted entirely black, save only for a red triangle centered on their left eye. You try to drag your legs, but they reach under your arms and lift you bodily from the bed. Outside, it seems that the whole village has congregated to see you. Every single one has a blackened face with a red triangle motif. The torches sputter and spill fire. I'm going to show you that motif real quick there. You try to drag your legs, but they reach under your arms and lift you bodily from the bed, as I said. Outside, it seems that the whole village is hungry to deceive you. Every single one has a blackened face with a red triangle motif. Torches sputter and fire spills. You struggle, but you can see physical resistance is hopeless. You march to the central street and turn to face the beacon. Oh, this is not looking so good. The procession down the approach is slow and formal, save when you sense weakness and yank at your captors. A chill touches you when you see three human shapes carried ahead of you, draped in red cloth. The beacon looms larger and larger, its dreadful silhouette a black triangle pointing to the stars. A low drone begins among the cloud figures. Unbidden, word mourners comes to mind. Smoke from the torches makes you cough. You feel heat on your face. As you reach the cleared area around the beacon, three dancers break from the path. Young girls swinging balls of fire in spectacular arcs, drawing circles in the night air. One by one, they draw close to you and touch your forehead with pretty fingers. Each kisses you 3 times, on the left cheek, right cheek, then forehead. Then they whisper in your ear. The smell of kerosene fills your nostrils. Make an appearance roll. Appearance? I'm just so darn beautiful, you can't kill me. Fail. I'm ugly. Through your sacrifice, the village will be reborn, says the first dancer. You pass from earth to air for all our sakes, says the second. Through incandescence may you find rapture, says the third. Their dance weaves off and disappears behind the building. As you arrive beneath the beacon, 10 villagers close in on you. Working with surprising coordination, they immobilize you and lift you up the blackened iron stairs to the raised platform. You cannot help but shiver at the sight of the central framework, twisted from past blazes, in which you now can clearly see to be fastened beneath your chain. None of the eyes meet yours as they lash into the metal. The village sings now, something rhythmic and ancient, carved from odd syllables. The second group ascends to the beacon, carrying the 3 red draped bodies. With reverence, they arrange their burdens in a triangle around your feet. Then they withdraw, leaving you alone with dread, shin deep in a sea of feeling. It seems the entire village is gathered around the beacon to watch you burn. Behind the face paint, you recognize May Ledbetter, and yes, that is Silas, the coach driver, standing at her side. The audacity and scale of the deception staggers you. A man steps on a dais and raises his hands with quiet authority. The frame of his spectacles obscures the red triangle on his face. So we draw here together again on this night, as we do each year. And we give thanks to the one who will preserve the village against the fire of the void. You will be taken by the ones from above in our stead. Your death will bring life to our streets and bounty to our fields. You will safeguard our children and our elders alike for another year. We salute you. He bows his head. All around the beacon, bearers step forward and lift their torches to the edge of the raised platform. A ring of tiny flames flicker up around the perimeter. As they wink, the singing of the villagers drops into an unearthly rhythm. I throw all my restraining strength against the bonds. You're tired, and your flesh ought to be insufficient against the dark iron chains. You can feel them give a little. There is a weakness in one of the links. Made a hard strength check. Strength fail me not. Strength fail me not. No! Flames snake across the kindling, catching and rising. Smoke rises and it is difficult to see the villagers. The 3 bodies surrounding you catch fire, blazing with sooty red flames. You begin to cough as the smoke enters your lungs and you fight down the urge to panic. Flames lick your legs, your eyes water. You're shrouded in smoke. It might be your imagination, but you think you can feel slight give in the chains. You throw yourself against them, giving no thought to how they bite into your wrists. Take 1d hit points of damage from the fire. I'm down to half my hit. Make a strength check. Come on. Oh. The chains give a little more. You feel that you could overcome them if only you had a little more time. If you only had a little bit more time. What can I do? These chains, they won't give. Somebody help me. Somebody help me, please. Why won't anybody help me? My God, please, somebody help me. The flames are getting higher. What am I going to do? My God, I'll never make it to my new life in Arkham. All I wanted to do was be a journalist. A journalist, I say. But as you feel the flesh of your legs char, the fire spreads out your jacket, looks at your face, and you know you have run out of time. You burn to death as the fire hits your flesh. You scream in agony and pain as your life fades away and the world turns to black. I was Oh man, I can't believe I didn't make it out. Those chains are just too good, and I didn't have the rules in it to find out what was going down behind the scenes. Wow, what a crazy freaking episode. That was fun. I have to say it was different than anything I've ever done before. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you guys did, maybe I'll do one of these in the future on another episode. Thanks, guys. I'll see you guys in the future. And try not to go too insane out there.